Hey y'all, so today we're making panadas. This was just on a regular weekend and we all had a feel for it, so I whipped this up quick and easy. Let's get to it. Alright, so I have a 5-ounce can of salmon to start off with, and then I season that with seasonal seasoning, garlic, salt, and then regular salt. Here I just cut up 2 slices of onion into the fish, and then I'm just going to fry them together until it's nice and brown for about 5 minutes or so, and then I'm just going to set it off to the side. Making the panadas dough, and with this I start off with about 1 to 2 cups of dry masa, and then I just add in like various seasoning like seasonal, salt and pepper, cayenne pepper, things like that. You could add in whatever you want. To give it that nice red coloring and authentic flavor, I add in some Ricardo seasoning. With this, I like to just melt it down with a little bit of water before I add it into the dough, just to make sure, you know, it's nice and dispersed and not just stuck in one part of the dough. Alright, this part is pretty simple, and the only thing is making sure you don't add too much water. You're just going to add in water little by little until a dough is formed, and make sure it's not too wet and of course not too dry so the panadas doesn't break up while you're working with it. I was checking the consistency and I did see that it was a little too wet, so I did end up adding in a little bit more masa. Alright, so when I get the dough to feeling how I want, I started making them off into little balls, about the size of ping pong balls. When I'm done making them and rolling them all off, I get like a food storage like plastic bag and I just cut it down to size, and that's what I'm gonna use to fold the panadas over and help me with closing it. So you're just gonna place the panadas dough ball between the plastic so it doesn't touch the metal at all, and then I know most people are going to want to overstuff their panadas and make it nice and fat, but it really doesn't need that much meat at all. You just need to put a little bit between it, and you use the plastic to fold it over itself again and close it so you don't have to touch it, and yeah, you just keep doing that until you make all of them off. Again, just place the dough in between the plastic, press it down, move it over, add in about a tablespoon of your meat, and use the plastic to fold the dough over itself and flatten it again. Make sure there's no lines that you could see. this without my lead doggy getting a little piece, so he's getting his own little panadas without any onion in it, of course, just the fish. And this was just the pieces of the fish that was left over in the dough that was left over. Alright, and as I briefly mentioned before, I did place the panadas in the freezer for about 30 minutes or so, just while the oil was getting heated up and while I was getting cleaned up and everything like that. I placed it in the freezer just to make it easier to handle and really just so I could literally just drop it in. And you're just gonna fry it on each side for about a few minutes or so until it's a nice golden brown color. Thing about making panadas is the tedious, it's not hard, it's just the tedious prep work into making it and then for it to be gone and ate up in 2 seconds. Okay, the next part is making the hot sauce or the onion sauce or however you want to call it. You really just take up some onion, you chop it up really fine. If you have a blender, that works even better. Then you just take some vinegar, salt, and habanero if you want to make it spicy, or Marie Sharp if you don't have habanero. But if you don't want to make it spicy, of course you just leave the habanero out. And look, finally Osito, he happy to get his.